This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
And a new season.
24/7 Buff Fandemonium isn't just a page.
It's a family.
A passionate group of positive Buffalo football fans
who embrace the character and fight of this team.
We strive to embody this passion
and present a fan-first perspective
without all the fluff. Enter the K-Gun Report.
Season 2.
The first season was exciting for 24/7 Buff Fandemonium.
Talking football, connecting with fans, and having quality conversation.
This season, we're stepping it up, and we want you all to come be a part of the conversation.
On March 9th, 2021,
the K-Gun Report
is back.
Let's go, Buffalo!
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
I hope none of that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 24/7 Buff Fandemonium presents the K-Gun Report, Season 2, Episode 29. Bills win. Bills win. Bills win. Hey!
Hey! It worked just like you planned, Jarrod.
Yeah, there you go. Hey guys, say hey when I say the Bills win.
And they did.
That was a fun one to watch, huh?
I'm Jarrod. Joining me tonight, we have Scooter.
Hey!
And Swank.
Yo!
Yo! We're triplets today. We're all wearing our 24/7 Buff Fandemonium red and white and blue logo shirts. Those are available along with the black and white 24/7 Buff Fandemonium shirts and the Notorious Dig shirts. Just personal message us if you have any questions or interest in the shirts, and we'll sure to answer you. Also, we got this. We got that.
Ooh.
We got that.
How much does it cost to get one of those, Jarrod?
Just cost some time. Personal messages, your address, and we'll send them to you for free.
Oh, there you go. Awesome.
Anything else?
They go on your vehicles. They can go on your toolbox. They can go on your PlayStation, your Xbox, wherever. On your shower curtain. I don't care. Wherever.
They can go on your French forehead. They can go on your shoe. They can go anywhere you go, you know?
On your shoe.
All right, guys, let's get right to it. What do you say? Our Buffalo Bills traveled down to Florida to play the Miami Dolphins this past weekend. Kind of threw a shutout there, 35-0. I just want to do a shout out quick to Josh Cook. He predicted 35-7. I think he was the closest one to predicting the right score. But what a game. Scott, I'm going to go right with you. We usually do the ugly, the bad, and the good. I don't think there's going to be much ugly or bad. But Scott, start out with the ugly and bad for that Bills-Miami game.
Like you said, there wasn't a lot of ugly and bad. Looks like Josh Allen's still trying to figure himself out, which is okay. It doesn't take long for you to realize, hey, sit back. We talked about this last year. You don't want these guys to peak now. You want them to kind of find their way, find their offensive ways. Every team has to change a little bit of something every year to be successful because teams can figure them out. So if it takes them a couple weeks, a month or two to figure it all out and then start hitting on all cylinders, I'm okay with that. We won 35-0 with Josh Allen still throwing only about 50%, 170 yards passing. I had a question that I asked myself the other day, and I was like, this guy gets paid a lot of money. I'm seeing a lot on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. $258 million, and he ain't doing nothing. The team won 35-0. As a fan, you got to ask yourself, is $250 million worth continued playoff appearances, AFC Championship games, and Super Bowl appearances, or is it that 300 yards a game, 4 touchdown passes, and looking flawless? I'm going with the playoffs. You just got to let things go the way they are. The Bills figured out a little bit of their offensive run scheme. I think they kind of listened to our show last week. I think we mentioned just put a running back in the backfield, we'll be all set.
And put Spencer Brown in the line for an extra blocker.
Yeah, there you go, Swank. But, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I was just saying it wasn't necessarily ugly. I think the Miami defensive backs and the Bills defensive backs played very well. They were covering each other very well. Byron Jones and Xavier Howard on their side, and Levi Wallace had a good game with Trey White. I think they covered the wide receivers very well. So I think it was a tough game, and we still blew them out 35-0. So that's my ugly and bad. I just think Allen and offense need to figure their passing game out.
Scott, you said it was funny you mentioned Allen with not hitting the stats that he did last year. And I have written here, that's my bad. Bad is doesn't seem to be hitting home. He doesn't have the it factor yet. Would you take Allen's play now for a Super Bowl ring? Or, and that's exactly it, right? His team won 35-0. They established a running game. Allen didn't play like we want him to play, but there's a big difference of how we want him to play and what we want the end product of the game to be. And I'll take that end product every day. Allen was healthy. He'll get it, but it's just going to take some time.
I think the problem is a lot of those touch passes, he needs to start laying on the wide receiver. He needs to throw the ball hard. He's had wide receivers wide open. He's putting a touch on it that's unnecessary. He just needs to throw the ball harder every once in a while. And he's got the arm strength, as we know.
Yeah. Slick.
Yeah, I think it's important to realize that this Josh isn't necessarily what Josh is going to be for the rest of the season. That's where everybody's freaking out. And can I just say what a glorious position it is to be in, to sit here and be like, we won 35-0, but we could have played better. Like,
Josh Allen said that.
100%. He hasn't clicked yet. You could see he was a little calmer this time around. I think the fourth quarter, he started to settle down. That ball to Diggs, to Moss over Xavier Howard was exactly what they needed. They needed that play. And that play wasn't like, we need this big, long play. It was, we are who we used to be. We just got to get back in that rhythm. And what happened? He threw it up to the best receiver in the NFL, and he caught it over arguably the top 2-3 cornerback in the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. And I loved that Diggs turned his head and started jawing at him before he hit the ground with the ball in his hands. He was already talking junk, and he just sat there with his big oversized helmet jawing at him, and I love that. I love it so much. But anyway, I think for me, the bad and the ugly, obviously Josh, you want him to hit, but early on in that game, everybody seems to be skimming over that Emmanuel Sanders ball that he threw. That pass was awesome, and it was in traffic, and it was perfect. Mm-hmm. So it's in there, I think, again, week 2 weeks in a row, I'm still going to say Dable. Dable was the worst part of that game. And I think that they are, again, trying to be too cute. I think they're calling plays outside of his comfort zone just to have other stuff on tape. And it's like, you're not in the playoffs yet. You know, you haven't played the Patriots for the first time, or you know what I mean? It's not like everybody's looking at what you did last year, and you're already trying to overdupe and come back with something that's not the identity of this team. You don't have to change what you're doing if what you're doing works because everybody executes. And I think the reason the second half worked out better for Josh in his passing, I'm just talking about the passing game. The running game was on point. They had that. I was very impressed with that. Sneak preview to the good there. But I think when they got in the second half, they started calling plays that he likes, that he's comfortable with, that he's used to playing, and it got better. I was glad to see that the designed run amount went way down, and the ones that he did call were actually
they were way different.
Better.
And they were awesome.
Yeah.
It was more of a misdirection design run instead of just a fake handoff and go up the middle. These were outside runs that were good. I thought we had Walmart Dayball, but he still had some pretty good design runs for Allen. A lot different than what we're used to, and I thought they were perfect.
Yeah, I think, like what you were saying with Josh Allen playing like this and us winning 35-0, awesome. That's awesome. This isn't going to fly in the playoffs. You're not going to win like this. Defense wins championships. If RD is for real and they looked lights out, they execute. Leslie Frazier said, they asked him what was different about this game plan. He said nothing was different specifically. We had a game plan. We just executed that game plan.
Yep.
And everybody, great. Every facet, every blitz, Dane Jackson came in for Levi Wallace, and huge stop on that fourth down play. There was just Taron Johnson is a beast.
Those sacks on the first drive, on the first drive would have reached Roethlisberger, even though it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
those are quick. They were in the backfield in 2 seconds. That just shows what an experienced Roethlisberger that can get rid of that ball in 2.5 seconds compared to even a half a second with a younger kid. The defensive line can wreak havoc, and that's exactly what they did. And we'll get more onto that in a couple of minutes here. But
we got John saying it takes a team to win, not just one player. We got Brent Thompson. Don't care if he throws for 2 yards a game. Give them wins, baby. Good get.
There you go.
Gesundheit, damn. Look how much, this is Diana Thompson, Kirkdorfer. Look how much time defense spent on the field. The weather was crazy hot. We still ended it smoking. Go Buffalo. Lisa, she says they were trying for my 40. I think that was her guess last week. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of great people. We got Debbie here. Motor played well. A lot of people here, man. Thanks so much for hanging out with us yet again for the K-Gun Report.
Hey.
Tara says, hoping Josh Allen gets that fire next week. He's my quarterback on fantasy football. I know other people that have him in fantasy. Just give it a minute. Because once he starts going, that fire is just going to go, especially because they did kind of establish kind of a running game this week, which is awesome to watch. All right, I think I got a couple bad and uglies. My biggest ugly was Russo's hit on Tua. See how I went there?
Jeez.
Gosh, man.
Who's Russo's or Epinesa?
You meant Epinesa?
Epinesa's hit on Tua was just fast, ducked down underneath that lineman, just killed him. We hope for the best for Tua. We hope for a speedy recovery, but, man, he got nailed. And that's pretty much it. You guys already touched the other bads and uglies that I wanted to say. So let's get to the good, because there was a lot of good.
We just got done touching the bad and uglies from what you just said.
Yeah, as long as you're
bumping bad and uglies.
Bumping bad and uglies.
All right, good. Fandemonium, let us know what the good from the game was, and Swank, I'll let you lead the way with the goods for tonight. Go ahead.
There was
everything.
The entire defense. I mean, that pass rush. AJ Epinesa for me, man, 100%. Groot. Micah Hyde, Taron Johnson, man. That dude is going to be an unsung, quiet Pro Bowl guy. If he keeps playing the way he's been playing these last 2 weeks, Like that dude, and he's in a contract year. Like he's playing for the money, and he should get it. Like if he keeps up this level of play, he should absolutely get it. Cornerbacks, backup corners, Levi, man. Levi played a hell of a game, man. Until he went out, whatever. But like, God, man, that play, he defended that pass so clean, and that taunt call was the biggest bunch of bullshit. Like this, I know
if you guys want
everybody's
to talk about that taunt penalty this week. It's crazy.
I mean, it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about how that rule is just garbage. But like, God, man, they're acting like doing an incomplete pass motion is like back when they were doing like the throat slit thing. You know what I mean? Like, how can you take such a raw game that's literally played on nothing but emotion, right? And they tell you have Sean McDermott, who's like the most even-keeled dude in the whole entire world, telling you, celebrate with celebrate the good plays and talk them up. Like that guy saying do that. Obviously don't moon moss him or whatever. Don't get a penalty. But like, yeah, man, get hyped. You're in the NFL playing professional football on Sunday. Like, so he makes this fantastic play after getting dogged for what? 4 seasons?
I was going to say seasons, not games, yeah.
Yeah, and you're targeting him on purpose because he's not Tre'Davious White. And he laid it down and then did this. And
especially against the player that he did it against, too.
Yeah.
Because, Parker, if he would have caught that ball, would have been up in his face.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Same
thing.
What I like most is what happened the very next play.
I know. That pick, man.
Redemption.
Yeah, it was. But I still am like, man, I wish as much as I'm glad we got that pick, I still wish that would have been his play. Like, I think that the defended pass, I mean, they were both beautiful plays, but that defended pass, that was exactly what Levi needed in that moment at that time.
Yeah, and to have it count would have been awesome.
And I mean, the pick is like beyond that, right? Where they're like, oh, there we go, man. There's, that's the Buffalo Bills. That's like a very Billsy thing, right? Like you make a fantastic play and then you get a penalty over bullshit. And then the thing that's changed the curse is like
used to be the other way.
He picked it, and that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad that the story ended the way it did like that, but still, man, God, that penalty is gonna ruin a lot of like these little side storylines, like a Levi Wallace, man. The dude has just been so dogged. Everybody's just like, he's not Tre'Davious. That's their biggest bitch about him, is that he's not Tre'Davious White, and I'm not saying I was his biggest fan. I was really pulling for Dane Jackson, who didn't really show up in preseason, but now apparently the gameplay he got on Sunday, Jesus, it was back like what was it, the Rams game that he was in?
Yep, when he got that pick.
When he got that pick. He was playing solid football. So, I don't know. The whole defense, man, good, 100% good. That rotation, insane. I just love that they're getting at him. That's what I want the whole rest of the season. I don't want to hear how bad the Dolphins' offensive line is or how bad 200%
I'm pretty sure in the draft there, Swank, I was kind of upset at Miami for not drafting 2 offensive linemen in that first round. They probably should have thought about that.
Probably.
But you're talking about Levi Wallace, and I just want to add to that real quick. He went 2 plays in a row. One of them was an amazing man defensive play, right? The very next play, I don't know if you saw it, that was a zone defense. And not only did he get Brissett to think that Levi was going deep to cover that guy so he could toss it underneath him, he saw that the safety was covering over top. He let go of that wide receiver and came down and was able to make that interception. So an amazing man-on-man play and an amazing zone recognition play. So that's 2 plays right in a row, totally different defenses that he performed very well.
Yeah.
My good was our defensive ends, our young defensive ends.
I think you had a bold prediction last week. Scott Russo and Epinesa would get their first sacks of the year.
Yeah, did Epinesa only get half, or did he get a full one?
I think he got a full one.
He did not get any.
No, he didn't.
He didn't get that one? Okay.
Oops.
Hey, I'll be wrong. I'll be wrong for the 9 hurries that he had that game. That was Epinesa didn't need to. I know
he
last
caused
year.
Those picks. I mean, he caused a lot of ruckus.
There's a difference. Last year, I kind of threw out this whole hurry stat. It's a bogus stat. It doesn't count unless you hit the quarterback. But with Jerry Hughes, because he had so many, Epinesa made an impact of this game, and he didn't get one sack. I think it was the how hard the hits were, how fast and frazzled he made those tackles look. I mean, Epinesa's flying. And he's not just like featherweighting into these guys. He's putting all his weight into these tackles, and he's thumping them.
Dude, that hit on Tua was so clean.
So clean, so solid.
And perfect.
What's
Right
it tell you,
exactly
Swank?
where it needed to be. He's there.
He's got control. He's got control.
So what I was, how I was saying last week, and yeah, you're right. I was so impressed with him, man. And it's exactly what we've been talking about on this show since he came on the Bills. He is athletic. He is fast, and he is strong. And the thing that I was gonna say was I was gonna text you guys on Sunday, but towards the end of the game, like that one where he would have had Jacoby Brissett, but he went up and over too high, and then Groot ended up getting him, and he came all the way back around and was like on top
Landed
of him
on the bottom
after,
of him.
right? So like that is exactly what I was saying last week about how he's like a puppy where his back legs are faster than his front legs. That's exactly the play that I have in my head. He ran so fast and had such a clean shot at him. He just overdid it and rolled off the top of him, but then was fast enough and athletic enough to come back and help finish him off.
Right.
That's insane. That's a dude that has no stopping him whatsoever. But if he can dial, he needs that window that he had on Tua, dude, right in the rib cage. If he can land those solid hits with his shoulder,
he's going to put every quarterback in the league on notice if he's able to put his shoulder into their ribs constantly.
Well, Scott, that's a different stat altogether. You got hurries, and then you have hits, quarterback hits. He was hitting that quarterback. So when you hit that quarterback when he's throwing the ball's either going to come out quicker or off somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, that hustle. Epinesa is just, you see him. Go ahead.
John's, and this is something that I wanted to bring to the table. Great to see Star back in the mix.
Oh my gosh.
Is this the difference? Is this what we've been waiting for?
Well,
you
here's the
had
thing.
6 sacks yesterday.
Yep.
None of them by Jerry Hughes, by the way.
Right.
But Zimmer.
Letoulier was in there quite a bit, and Zimmer, holy cow. The difference of having this Tech 1 defensive tackle that's able to take up the 2 blocks and still move the pile with 2 blocks. I was, his first game back, I was very impressed. Not only just a game back, but a 90-degree day game back, and he was still doing it. So,
do you know what percentage of plays he played? Because I think it was probably a pitch count, wasn't it?
Probably.
Because he wasn't in there a lot. But you mentioned Zimmer. How often do you see Zimmer in the backfield getting almost held every time? That is just crazy to watch. Zimmer. Yeah, and I heard Star Latulia's name every once in a while, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's in. Yeah.
Yep. And he doesn't look much different as far as size-wise and speed-wise.
It's crazy because there was just so much going on the defensive side of the ball that when Levi went out, I didn't realize that did he return for a little while and then they sat him out, or he never came back.
I don't know.
I don't know either. And isn't that crazy? That's something that usually we pay attention to pretty hard, but we were just whooping the shit out of them so bad.
And not much seemed like it changed.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that you're paying attention to, when did they take Tremaine Edmonds out? Because he was gone.
I think that was halfway through the third quarter.
Is there just to sit him out because it was already?
He had cramps.
Okay.
Heat cramps.
'Cause I saw him out. Klein played well when he came in.
Yeah.
See ball, get ball.
I thought, because between him and then Dane Jackson, I was like, oh, they're throwing their second teamers in.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was I thought they were just doing that because it was such a blowout. But I don't think so. I think that's just the next man up, and they couldn't help it. So,
I mean, just today, Matt Milano was ranked the top linebacker so far after 2 weeks of football.
That's
Should be.
In
He's
reference to Pro Football Reference, right? That's the stat guys that we like to listen to.
Pro Football
Reference, is that what it is?
Focus?
Focus.
Yeah.
I hate them. Yeah.
But
when they talk good about the Bills, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll read it when they talk good about it, sure.
But Josh Allen ran around.
I'm just saying, you can credit that to probably the Letoulier play, the Zimmer play, and that defensive line play. We said it. We say it till we're blue in the face. That defensive line performs well, the linebackers will perform well, and then the safeties will follow suit.
And that's that trickle effect. Yeah, the front play well, then it just goes back. I just wanted to mention something really quick that Josh Cook actually said. One of the design runs, I think, was when Josh Allen kept it around the corner, went out of bounds, got hit late. Who was right there to stick up for him?
Feliciano.
Yeah. Oh, how awesome is that?
So, guys, if you're on the page and you're new to the page and you're watching us, we love to take your comments. So comment as much as you can, ask as many questions as you can on the live stream here, and we'll talk about it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Paul Rossi says, excited to watch the D carry the team for a bit as Josh gets himself right. Can't wait to be there Sunday. Oh, he's going to the game on Sunday.
Hey, should we tell everybody that we're going to the Houston game in 2 weeks?
Fandemonium.
No, we should wait.
Yeah, let's wait.
Let's not tell everybody yet.
Hey, guys, we're going to the Houston Texans football game in 2 weeks.
No, we're not. We're going to the Buffalo Bills football game to watch the Houston Texans playing.
They're, right.
Son of a bitch.
It's the Bills versus the Texans. 24/7 is going to be there. We'll let you know where we are when we know.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to figure that out. All right, so the good that I had, Singletary, 13 rushes for 82 yards, 6.3 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. I had him projected for over 100 yards with 2 touchdowns. When he took that first 46-yarder, I'm like, yeah, my projection's going to happen. But he slowed down a little bit, but he's still effective.
Yeah.
Another running back we have to mention is Zach Moss.
Mm-hmm.
I think he broke somebody's shoulder blade as he took one in for the touchdown. Did you see that goal line run where he just...
Yeah, it was gnarly. Why? So I was listening to One Bills Live today for a little while, but then I had to turn it off. But I guess Kyle Brandt was on, and he did his angry runs thing today, and that was one of the nominees or whatever, but he disqualified it for some reason. And I was wondering if you guys knew or heard or whatever.
No, I don't know why he would have disqualified it.
Yeah, I mean, he blew him up. Blew that guy straight up.
Yeah. Didn't even move him backwards. He just blew him up and then kept his feet running. For young running backs out there, take notice. Keep your feet grinding, keep your legs moving, lower that shoulder. And he took it all on the shoulder. So if you got your head down and you're aiming your head right, you'll take it all on the shoulder. You'll bounce it off, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had a 31-yard run like that too, where he kept his shoulder straight, made contact, kept his legs moving, got the first down. Another good. Swank called it. Gilliam Hughes and Spencer playing extra lineman. That was awesome, Swank. Good job. Taron Johnson's play, tackling machine, sack, and coverage was just unstoppable. Again, Swank, you mentioned getting the backups in for experience, getting them halfway into the game, or 3.5 quarters in, or they finished the game off in the fourth quarter and a little bit of the third quarter. That's huge because you really didn't notice any decline in the defense. They still played pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then Epinesa looked unstoppable. It's going to be interesting to see what he does next week.
And nothing beats experience. So if you can get those guys out there to get a little bit of experience, you can't beat it.
Yeah. Reps.
Yep.
As many reps as you can. Chancey says that he said it doesn't qualify if a player gets hurt. So I guess I guess I can see that. If you're giving somebody an award and another player got hurt on the run, then
makes sense.
That looks bad. But he should have won it. So
you have to give props to the Bills Mafia for once again showing up in Florida for this game. Apparently there was a lot more Buffalo Bills jerseys and colors out there in the stands than Miami, which
Well, that's because there were hardly any Miami fans there.
That's because
our boy Ryan Hickman was out there from Buffalo Autographs, www.buffaloautographs.com.
Yeah, he's in the chat right now.
There you go. You want jerseys, helmets, anything Buffalo Bills, canvases? They got sweet canvases now. Hit him up at those sites like I just told you. You can't beat the price, and he does a lot of the raffles that can give you these things for a low price. So hit him up. Yeah.
Our boy Jesus Gonzalez says Mexico was present at Miami supporting the Bills. Bills House MX was in Miami.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, look at this. See this right here? Ryan Hickman has big boot, baby face bass jerseys autographed.
Oh, right.
Go check it out. He has a lot of them. He just sent out a list today of what he has going on. Check out Buffalo Autographs Facebook, www.buffaloautographs.com. He's got a lot of jerseys out there getting ready to get out.
And he's the coolest dude ever.
He is.
Oh, shit. Ever. Family guy like we are, and love him.
All right, guys. Buffalo Bills are 1-1. The next game that we'll be watching them play is again a Sunday game at 1:00. My favorite time to watch the Bills game. We are playing the Washington Redskins.
Nope.
Swank, I know. Oh,
We're not playing the Redskins.
Wow, geez, Scott, I always yell at you for that. Washington football team. Swank, last week you mentioned how this is one of your favorite teams to watch now because they're enjoyable to watch, but we're playing them now. They're 1-1 as well. Hate them for this week 3. 1-1. All right, so we're gonna do this right now. Buffalo Bills host the Washington Redskins, both 1-1. Swank, what are your thoughts about this game?
I think it'll be a good test. I think that the Bills will have faced 3 very good defenses in the first 3 weeks of the season. And it's starting to feel a little reminiscent of last year where it was like every week the next week's opponent, like their defense had crept into like the top 7 defense in the league, But there's no real surprise here as far as like we knew Pittsburgh was going to be tough. Defensively, we knew Miami's secondary was going to be what it is. And now we know Washington, correct? Like their line is nuts. Their secondary is pretty decent. So it's going to be a real test, I think. And I also think that Heineke is not anybody to like cough at. I think he is a solid quarterback. I think he's fighting for that, like to keep that starting job, even if Fitzy gets well. And I think he's young enough to where he could see himself being there and being the starter for a while.
Yep.
They put a lot of good pieces and parts around the quarterback, whoever that was going to be. I mean, they built it for Fitzy, but like obviously Heineke threw for over 300 yards last week, and they played a pretty good game winner, right? They ended up winning at the end. Yeah, so
30-29.
The Giants gave that game away, but
yeah, well, it's the Giants too, so take what you will from that. If they can hang with the Redskins, or I'm sorry, the football team, then maybe we don't have a whole lot to worry about. But I think this isn't a gimme, definitely not the way we played the first week and into the second week. But I do think that our defense, if it plays the way it played on Sunday, will torch off on them.
Yep.
And I think that's the key. That's what I was saying last year into this year. We say it all the time. If you rattle that quarterback's cage, it doesn't matter who's back there. They're not going to like it. They're not going to be comfortable. You make them as uncomfortable as possible. If it's not a sack, it's a hit. If it's not a hit, it's a pressure. And seemed like on Sunday we had a pretty good grasp on what was going on with that. So I think more of the same. I don't care what you do to make that happen, but you get there and you get in his face. And that's how you make young quarterbacks make mistakes.
Yep.
Scott, your thoughts?
My thoughts, I think it's a matchup that is each other's strengths. So we got the Bills' offense is the Bills' strength. The defense obviously is one of the top right now, but we're looking at one of the top defenses in Washington and one of the top offenses in Buffalo. So I think that's going to be a huge matchup. We're playing a 4-3 defense, which is a defense we haven't played yet. 4-3 defense, if you saw the runs that the Bills did against the Miami Dolphins, those quick hits, the ISOs, a lot of the stretch plays, they can take advantage of a 4-3 defense with that. And we'll see if they even do that. But that defensive line is very strong for Washington. They got Daron Payne and Allen, their defensive tackle, who's got 3 sacks as a defensive tackle already. The guy's no joke. Chase is on the outside. He hasn't got a sack yet, so he's hungry. And Sweet is on the other side. That defensive line, that defense is Bostic, linebacker, very good. I think it's going to be obviously both sides of the ball have to play the whole game, but I think the key matchup is going to be that offense versus that defense. The Washington Redskins do have a rookie right tackle. So, like to Swank's point, if we bring the defense, if we bring the blitzes, and if Epinesa and Russo can do what they did against Miami, their rookie tackle, Samuel Cosme, he's going to have a hard time. He's a right tackle. He's not the left. He's not the blind side, but that's going to be a difficult match for that offensive line for Washington. Heineke, it's tough. He almost beat Tampa Bay last year when he had to come in, but then he hasn't really played much of a opponents as far as defenses go in his other games. So it'll be a good test for him. But I think if we jump all over him, if Leslie Frazier has the same kind of game plan similar that he did with Tua, I think we'll be all set. But they do have the talent. Scary Terry McLaurin, a wide receiver, very talented. He's good at slants, and slants are
Scary Terry. Is that a nickname you gave him, or is it something that
it's been his nickname?
Okay.
Bill sometimes can struggle against a quick slant, especially if you're blitzing. A quick slant is very effective, so he could burn us there. And that Gibson, that running back, he was a wide receiver at Memphis. The guy can catch the ball out of the backfield. He could be a threat. So the defense is going to have to be on their toes. And I think Milano and Taron Johnson, I think, are going to have their hands full, but I think they can handle the task. So I think my score prediction is not going to suggest this, but I think it could be a closer game than a lot of people think. I think Washington's riding high off that win from last week, and I think the Bills are riding high, obviously, on their win against Miami. So it's at home, so Mafia will show up, make some noise, and I hope it's another one of them blowouts. It could be, but it also could be closer than we think.
Yeah, I was
looking at.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say really fast. The slant thing, it killed us last year. This year, I feel like Gesicki didn't have that great of a game against us. He had caught a couple balls, but they weren't necessarily slant passes either. So I think the difference for me is a healthy Milano and a non-point Taron Johnson. So they definitely are going to have their hands full, but I think that it's going to look a little different, hopefully, this year than it did last year.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to throw out Heineke. He's throwing 75%, 45 for 61 for almost 500 yards. So he is a pretty accurate quarterback. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. You mentioned Scary Terry, Scott. He's got 18 targets, 15 catches, so he catches a lot of the balls thrown his way. Almost 200 yards receiving. Yeah, that offense can be a little bit of a worrisome thing, but again, like we mentioned about the Miami Dolphins game, that front rush is going to play a huge factor in this game. And Swank, you mentioned Milano and Taron Johnson. When you said those two names, they're the key.
Did you get a shiver?
Yeah, man. Taron's been playing great. Milano's always playing good. If
Healthy.
those two are on, man, this defense is very scary. We haven't even mentioned Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer yet.
I know.
We've mentioned Taron Johnson, Levi Wallace, Tre'Davious White, but we haven't even mentioned the guys in the back. They're just coasting right now. They haven't really had to step up.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
And think about what you just said. They're coasting right now, and Micah had a sack.
Yeah,
on Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, no news is good news, right? I mean, you still see Poyer in every TV shot, right? He's always around the play. He's making tackles. Micah, same deal. If somebody's getting double teamed, he's that guy up top, and he's trying to take it off. I mean, they're out there doing their jobs, but like I said, no news is good news, man. It's good when you don't get any mail, right?
Yeah, Taron Levi and Tre'Davious are making Micah and Jordan's job a little easy, which is always a good thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's what you need. And if you're getting pressure up front, I mean, everything is just locking in together like that. That's why they pitched a shutout. You know, like you have this perfect scenario on Sunday. If you can continue to replicate that throughout the year, you're not gonna shut out every single week. I know there's some Steeler fans that might think that we're homers, that maybe we would say that. And if we would have picked that last week, we would have been right, but who cares? La La Land, you know? But anyway.
All the way out there in La La Land.
But you can have that solid D that's, giving up 10, 13 points. Like, nobody's going to scoff at that, man. Go nuts. And, God, man, if this is the tip of Groot and Epanesa's iceberg, holy shit.
And the avalanche is going to start.
Yeah, Jarrod's trying to get the avalanche going. Defensive line.
I mean, Swank, you start something, right? I mean, you did start something.
I'm saying do it. I think it's, yeah. Are you going to you want me to make avalanche stickers?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that eventually.
3D ones, when you turn them like that, you see the avalanche starting.
All right, let's get to some of these comments out here.
When you hold them up in the Alps, an actual avalanche starts.
All right, let's see here. Love Bass. Sport his jersey every week, John. John sends us a picture of that Bass jersey. Yeah, and I'm back a long ways. All right, let's go.
So Washington, they played the Chargers in week 1 and lost to the Chargers. Chargers are up and coming. I mean, Herbert's a great quarterback. And then, like I said, they played the Giants last week, and, the Giants kind of gave them that win. So,
Joey Hatch says, Russo's up for Rookie of the Week. Yes, Russo had a great game. Rookie of the Week, man. He had a little interview with Matty Glab. It was pretty cool. This kid he's a good kid.
Matty Glab?
Matty
From One Bill's Live, Matty Glab. I know she's cute and whatever. She's just not my favorite.
She's just not your favorite.
I'm a Sale guy, man. I like Sale. Sale. Carpaccio. Sale. Carpaccio. But Matty
right, guys.
Glab. Matty Glab?
All right, let's go here.
Jarrod, what kind of offense do you think you're going to see the Bills come out against this high potent Redskins defense?
Well, that's my X factor. Can we wait to that?
Oh, whatever.
All right, no. Okay, so here's what I'm expecting.
You're expecting?
I'm expecting last week's run game to play a huge factor in this week's game, because now Washington's going to come out knowing that Allen really hasn't put together a 60+% completion rate game with high yards, but they can see that a running game's starting to establish a little bit. So that's my X factor. I'm just going to show it. Last week's Bills rushing game is going to impact
should I
Allen.
switch to X factor?
X factor.
Ah, there you go. Got it.
X factor. All right, I'll lead it. Obviously, I'm leading it. Right. So the X factor is going to be this past week's run game. This is the week. Oh, I got a bold prediction in here. Allen's going to go on fire this week.
Which one do I switch to? I don't know which one to switch to. Tell me which one to switch to. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, so, I think this week's game plan is going to be a little bit on the run game as well. Might as well start out with a run game like they did this past week and see where the game's going to lead you. I think, again, last week that they had it on display that Singletary can bust a long run. He's got the ability to get through the hole, get a couple yards, and then Zach Moss has shown that he could lay the blow on a lot of people. Washington's got to be ready for that. So having the 4-3 defensive
phrasing.
Can we edit that?
Well, so this is what we wanted from these two backs, right? We wanted somebody that could be the shifty mini shady, and we wanted somebody that could carve out those tough yards like Frank Gore, right? So
lay the blow.
Somebody that can just lay the blow. You know what I mean?
We're getting off here.
But that's what you're getting. Like, that's the level of play you're getting. That fumble really pissed me off in the beginning of the game with Moss, and I thought he wasn't going to see the field. And then 2 touchdowns. There you go. Right? I mean, that makes up for it. Don't do it again. That makes up for it. Your aunt passed away. I'm sorry. Don't do it again. That makes up for it. But I don't know. You have a good running game right now. Mm-hmm. What for me, my X factor? We're doing X factors. Were you done? I'm sorry.
Yep. That's
okay.
it. The X factor.
My X factor is piggybacking right off that play action. They're not running play action the way they do. That's where he shines. Play action, improvisation. Do it all. I don't care if you don't run one time in a game. Play action. Every single snap, I would do it. I don't understand why not. Because there's somebody out of those 11 guys on the opposite side of the field, they're going to bite on that. One guy is going to bite on that. And that's where you get your opening, Yeah, and
got a lot of people agreeing with you kind of a little bit here.
Yeah.
We got Paul Rossi, X Factor, Davis ready to break out game. Paul Kirkdorfer, X Factor, Bills must get out and score quick with Allen 85% completion passes and TDs.
I like
then
that.
We got Brent Thomason, X Factor. Knox has been playing consistently. Knox is playing his arse off, he says. Knox is Brent's X Factor.
As he should be. I mean, that guy, he was pretty quiet last week, right? But, for the most part, he was quiet. He didn't get a lot of touches. But a lot of snaps, so that means he's out there blocking, he's out there doing other things. I think, you got to open the playbook up for him a little bit, too. I mean, he showed that he's not dropping balls right now.
Right.
The only drop he doesn't have a drop. There was one incompletion thrown to him that was way, way out of his reach.
And that touchdown catch was no joke. He was in tight coverage, and he had to adjust his body to catch that. So that was one of those, like we've said, he catches those hard ones. It's those 15-yard passes down the
The
middle.
gimmies.
When we need you and you drop it. So,
But he
I'm
caught
gonna
one of those. He caught one of those week 1.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm into it. I'm
I'm going off what you guys were saying. I'll start off by saying, in my mind, in the scheme of defenses, I think a 4-3 defense is a little easier to run on. Yes, there may be more defensive linemen, but in the 3-4 defense, you have 4 linebackers you're choosing from, possibly a safety coming down in the box. 4-3, you know those 4-3 down linemen. So it's a little easier for those offensive linemen to pick out their blocking schemes. And a lot of times, there's no one right over the center. So the A gaps and the B gaps, those ISO plays are more effective if you can get that established. Also, it's a game that you can use Breida in those stretches and those sweep plays, because you can get his speed outside. The linebackers don't tend to be so far outside. They tend to be more in the box a little bit, and you can use his speed to an advantage. So if we're going to talk X factor being part of the run game, I think it's a perfect game to maybe establish that. Slow down those defensive ends a little bit, Sweat and Chase there, and run the ball a little bit. But we might not. I think where I'm going with this is my X factor has to do with the run game. I think it's Morse, Feliciano, and Ford. Those 3 guys in the interior line, because Morse now doesn't have anybody over his nose, he's going to have to either go out and get the linebacker or double block, chip block some of these defensive tackles, these good defensive tackles that they're playing against the Washington Redskins. And if they can establish a run game quick in that interior line, those screens are going to be effective. And we didn't see a jet sweep last week, did we?
No.
Those are going to be effective plays if they can establish the run early.
So you answer Jim Graham's question.
X factor.
Why isn't screenplays non-implement on their playbook? So
you need a screenplay. You need the defensive line, the defensive ends, mostly to think, or at least be able to delay their attack at the quarterback. And if they can start snuffing stuff, if you don't have a run game, you don't have a screen game. So if you can start making these defensive linemen think that maybe it's a play action, which they do. The Bills use play action on their screenplay. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of the slip screens where there's play action up the middle, the no running back will slip out to the outside. So you need to establish a run game a little bit. Bills haven't had one, and now that they do, the screen game may be more effective.
That's good. Good stuff.
Nice analysis there, Scotty boy.
Joey Hatch. Washington gave up a lot of yards on the ground. I think the X factor will be the running game, our running backs.
Daniel Jones had over almost 95 rushing yards against the Redskins.
Listen, all this being said, it's all great, and we've talked about nothing but the running game for this X Factor thing. This is not my bold prediction.
All right.
It's like, listen, that's not my bold prediction either. Score and bold prediction. Swank, lead the way. Fandemonium, give us your score prediction and your bold prediction. We're going to let Swank lead the way.
All right. Over here in La La Land, your boy Swank is predicting that the Buffalo Bills will win this game, that it will be not as tight as everybody thinks it may be, because Heineke is a flash in the pan currently, and I am going to say that we're back up in the 30s. We're 32-13. Buffalo Bills. And my bold prediction is that your boy Josh throws 3 TDs and over 300 yards for the first time this season. Gets out of that little hump and gets in it. And my defensive bold prediction is that Epinesa torches off on the QB and gets 2 sacks.
I like you.
Yeah.
X factor.
That was my X factor, was Epinesa was going to have more than 2 sacks. But Scott, bold prediction.
You didn't say bold prediction though, and no, that's mine. So
I know. You got score. Score.
You'll taint the statistics anyway. Yeah.
You'll taint it.
One loss for Swank.
Hey, I got 31-10. I think it's another blowout. Like I said, there's potential for not to be, but I don't see Heineke performing well against a top 5 defense. I don't think. I think the defensive line is really good for Washington, but I think our offensive line is better and our schemes are better. And now that we have a bit of a running game coming, I think that's going to make it more difficult for them. So the score 31-10. My bold prediction is I have 3 of those touchdowns coming from running backs.
I like that.
I got it, Scott. Got it. All right. So Swank 32-13. Allen throws for 300 plus with 3 TDs. Scott 31-10. 3 touchdowns from the running backs. My score is going to be 37-10. Buffalo Bills. Allen will pass over 300 passing yards. I agree with you, Swank, but I'm giving them 4 TDs.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this grade school. One more TD than you think. Back it up. Back it up.
$1.
What's your other bold prediction?
The price is right.
That was my oldie bold prediction.
Your oldie?
My oldie.
My defensive bold prediction is 5 sacks again. 5 sacks and more.
I had 6+. That was my. I had a lot of. No, I had a lot written down.
One upper. Oh, Jerry, one upper we got down there.
He can't even give it a second. He's got. Oh, I got one more now.
1 second.
What was your score, Scott?
31-10.
And
Mine
yours was
37-10.
Oh, weird. And then you said how many sacks? And then okay. That 14.
Lisa Johns, 40 to nothing. Diana Kirkdorfer. Go Swank.
Jerry one upper shirts coming next week here at 24/7.
Alberto 28-20 Bills. Buffalo Spartan 38-35 Bills.
This is Sparta.
Paul Rossi 30-17 Buffalo. Bold prediction from Buffalo Spartan. Gabe Davis is used more this week and has 2 touchdowns.
One hit on that. I think that he was put out as a decoy. And did we talk about this already?
No.
No? Okay. I think that he was put out there as a decoy. I don't think he's healthy. He was only out a couple snaps last week, and that was it. So he dressed to just like Gronk did that one time, remember, for the Patriots where he was all messed up and they had him out in the field but he didn't do anything. Yeah, so I think that's what was up with him.
So hopefully Gabe Davis comes back healthy. He had pretty much, if he only was out there for a couple plays, he had another extra week to lay off a little bit. Josh Cook, 38-10, 200 total rushing yards. Scott, I think Cook is right there with you. Joey Hatch, 35-9, Buffalo, 3 sacks for Epinesa, 3 sacks for Russo. So he's thinking 3 sacks for one of those young guys. Lisa, Micah has a pick like that. John's Bass for a field goal with extra points. Add the field goal for good measure. Bills 38, Redskins quotations 10. Russo gets 2 sacks. There's a lot of them out there.
Lisa is she is diehard on 40 points.
She must be in a pool.
I like it. Do it.
She's part of the 40 club.
There you go. All right, guys. There you go. Now we've come. What a great week. I mean, after beating a rival and shutting them out, we were kind of in a little bit of a mood after our first loss, but we're 1-1. It's only looking up from here. Again, like we always do, we go week from week, and we're enjoying the ride. This is a nice ride. This is a nice game to watch. So can't wait to watch again Sunday at 1 o'clock, the best time to watch football. So everyone, enjoy the ride. So now we're going to get to the segment of the night where we're going to do AFC East score predictions, or we're going to pick the winner. And then with Swank has a toilet bowl game, which is the Panthers versus Houston. That's going to be Thursday. But we're going to start with our AFC East. There it is.
You know what? I don't think that was my toilet bowl now that you said that out loud.
You want to switch that?
Yeah, I'll look it up. Go ahead. You guys go.
Right. So Scott has a pick'em record up behind him. He's up on top, and he has to, put that nicely out there. So the first game, the Saints are traveling to New England to play on the Patriots. I have the Saints winning that game. Scott, who you got winning that game?
The Saints.
Fandemonium, who you have winning that game? Swank, Saints versus Patriots.
The Saints.
Saints. So all 3 of us picked the Saints on that one. Fandemonium, the next game is going to be Dolphins versus the Raiders. The Raiders are on a hot streak right now. They're playing pretty well. I know Scott has Derek Carr as his quarterback for fantasy, getting up a couple points here and there. I am going to wait. I have mine written down already, but Swank, we're going to let you lead the way this time.
Raiders. No. I want to hear yours
let's hear
first.
Yours first. Yeah.
Raiders.
Yeah. All right.
Swank.
Raiders. 1 up.
One more point.
Dude, it didn't matter what you were going to say. I was just going to say whatever it is.
Well, Derek Carr is hurt, and so is Jacobs. I still got the Raiders.
Raiders.
The Raiders.
I don't know who the... Oh, man. Is that possible a Peterman could play? Because Mariota is still hurt, right? Like, for real.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that why I saw the post today about Raiders looking for quarterback?
Maybe. He's not that hurt. He's not that hurt, but he's injured.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into the next one. Saints should win. Saints blowout fashion. Saints. Panthers.
Perfect time to tell you guys
Raiders,
the 24/7 Buff Fandemonium admins we're going to the Buffalo Bills Houston Texans game, and we would love for you to come and hang out with us, have a couple sodas, eat some food, cheer on our Buffalo Bills. We'll let you know where we are. We haven't decided where we're going to go, but it'd be awesome to hang out with you, sit down. We like to get up there early, so we're thinking maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock. So
You say 8:30, 9 o'clock to some of these Bills fans are like, that's not
That's
early.
not early. Yeah,
I'm there the night before.
I'm there Thursday night in the RV lot.
early, I'm already here. We'll be doing a show from the Bills Stadium on Tuesday. That's how early we're getting there.
Yeah, we're yeah. If you're there, get at us. Let us know, and we will meet up. We're gonna have stickers and all that kind of shit. So, come hang out.
So there's a couple spots we're looking. Burke's Bike's one of them. That's a nice parking lot. That's about 8 to 10 minute walk to the stadium. Then we have a personal friend that's right on the main strip that we might want to stop at.
Hey,
And
Abbott Road.
And then there's Abbott Road, and then there's Swank. What's the place we like to hang? You like to hang out? Hammer's Lot.
Hammer's Lot. Yeah, I've actually never been through Hammer's Lot before.
Okay. So we might want to get in there too. So we're gonna decide, but we'll let everybody know where we're at if you want to come hang out with some 3 goofballs during the game.
Goofballs.
All right, the next game, Jets versus Broncos. You want me to tell you who I picked first? You not believe me?
Sure, Jarrod.
I picked the Broncos. Scott.
Zach Wilson's struggling right now. It's going to take for him for a little while to figure out the game. Broncos, Bridgewater's looking good.
Yep, Broncos. So far, none of these games matter to us.
Nope. We're going to end up the same way. All right, Swank, what's the toilet bowl?
Toilet Bowl is actually a 1 o'clock game on Fox. The Falcons at the Giants. Both teams 0-2. A fitting toilet bowl, if I do say so myself.
I'm going Giants.
Can you wait?
What am I waiting for? You wanted to say something?
No, I'm just
first?
joking. No, I'm just joking because you've been trying to get them out because you're getting self-conscious about me calling you one upper.
Why does he always change now?
Falcons. I'm going Falcons. I think Matty Ryan's way better of a quarterback than anybody on the Giants at any of their positions.
I'm going with the home team.
Giants? And this is where Swank could pull even with Scott.
I was just say it's an even one. Is it at New York? Then I'll take the Giants.
I'm not moving
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Not
it is.
moving anywhere.
Okay. All right, Jarrod, you're a stalemate. There you go.
Fandemonium, thank you for joining us again tonight. You guys all show up every Tuesday, and that's freaking sweet. As you could tell, us 3 hooligans are wearing the 24/7 Buff Fandemonium red shirts. These are new guys. We have these. We have a lot of them. We have Notorious Dig shirts still too, and the original 24/7 Buff Fandemonium black and whites. If you're interested in the merchandise, just personal message us with any questions or any interest, and we'll get to you. Those stickers, that sticker right there, bam, came right out. Hold on, boom, and these 2. These will look good all up on your right side of your car. All 3 of them.
Boom, boom, boom.
Let us know. Those are free. Personal message us your address, and we'll send them out to you for free. Buffalo Bills hosting the Washington Redskins Sunday at 1 o'clock. Throughout the week, we're going to have some more posts going on. So we're going to have the history of the Washington football team. We're going to have the pick'ems, score predictions, bowl predictions, and most importantly on Sunday, we're going to have what are you wearing, what are you drinking. So stay tuned for all those. Scott, Scooter, the Cooter. Final thoughts.
Final thought? My final thought is pretty easy. We love the Fandemonium. We appreciate the support we get from you week in and week out, whether it's on the page, but we love talking to you on the streams here on Facebook and on YouTube. My final thought is we would absolutely love to see you come out that Bills Houston Texans game, just to have a couple drinks with you and cheer on our Buffalo Bills. Short and sweet.
There you go. Swank. Mr. Swank.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Hey, when is our next giveaway show?
Should we do it next week?
No, let's do one next week.
There you go. So, hey, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. We're doing a giveaway show next week.
Do we have anything to give away?
We can think of something.
Oh, I thought we had a non-decker.
I have a dog trick.
Maybe we'll give away a cup. Who knows?
Maybe we'll give away some of my garbage too. Here's empty beer, empty PBR can from Swank. That's what you get.
5 cents a piece. No, we'll come up with something. Just keep an eye out.
How about a new shirt?
There you go.
All right, we're giving away a new shirt next week, guys. So tell your friends, tell your family, don't tell your ex-wife, don't tell anybody you don't like. Screw them, who cares? Thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us every single week. Man, we sure love you guys. And join us every week on Facebook Live and YouTube for 24/7 Buff Fandemonium presents the K-Gun Report. I think next week is actually Season 2, Episode 30. What? So you can check us out right there, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Spotify, Anchor if you like the audio, Apple Podcast, and don't forget about them stickers and them shirts, and follow us up at 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. Thanks,
Tell your
y'all.
friends. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's fun to watch all the comments going back and forth. You guys carrying the conversation with each other all throughout the night. It's awesome. Thanks for the participation. Like we always say, we enjoy the conversation with you guys. Take one game at a time. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy watching the videos of everything going on through camp or through the practices, and see what's going on to the weekend. Can't wait to see everybody next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, where we talk about this game, this Washington football team versus the Buffalo Bills game. Hopefully it's another win, 2-1. And again, I can't wait to see it. And it's official now.
On the 2-1. Oh, Jarrod got a decal for the helmet. Look at that.
We have the official helmet for 24/7 Buff.
Nice.
Whoa.
2020 is when we started. That's what that's for.
Oh, are those black little buffaloes?
I was wondering.
Yeah, black little buffaloes.
Cool. That's awesome.
Nice.
Nice
All right,
job,
guys.
dude.
Sweet.
Enjoy the game Sunday. See everybody Tuesday, 8 o'clock. The K-Gun Report. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go. Bills.
This is a dangerous group.